everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Sarah.
And it is almost 2 in the morning on the 15th of April, and we are witnessing the beginnings of a lunar eclipse.
Yeah, getting close to the midway point, actually.
We've been out here for about an hour, and we got to see this huge, crazy amount of clouds go across this, which looked really super awesome on the camera. And as the eclipse was happening, when it was about a quarter to half eclipsed. And just about 10 minutes ago or so, it started to get really red.
Yeah.
And this is fascinating. It's really cool. I've never gotten to see anything like this. I've never seen an eclipse
Of any kind, yeah, me neither.
And we were talking about this earlier. Growing up, there were a few times I remember on the news where there'd be a discussion of some kind of cool astronomical phenomenon that would only happen like once or twice in your lifetime that you'd want to make sure you saw. And I seem to always miss them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I saw a comet once when I was a kid, but that's, other than little meteor showers and falling stars and stuff, that's the extent of it for me. So this is kind of the coolest thing I've ever seen in the sky.
And thank God for modern technology, because when I was a kid, I had a telescope, but for some reason I never seemed to be able to figure out how to use it right. Like I'd set it up, and I couldn't really see much of anything. And I don't know, maybe I was just bad at it, or maybe it was a crappy telescope. I don't remember. But I mean, like now, I'm just setting up my regular camera, and I can totally see everything going on. This looks really cool. I didn't know if this would show up very well.
Yeah.
And I can see craters on the moon. This is neat.
Yeah.
I think if I was just standing out here looking at this with my naked eye, it would still be cool, but it's really nice to get some magnification on it.
It's nice to have both, where we can see it as it's actually happening, and then also see it in the screen of the camera.
And unfortunately, you folks watching at home won't exactly have that experience, because you'll only see what's on the camera. I'm sure there will be lots of people posting videos of this and pictures of this.
Oh, I'm sure.
But as we were out here standing here, and I was using the camera mostly just for magnification, I thought, well, why don't we actually shoot a video, post it to the channel, and let people get to see what we're looking at.
Yeah.
In case people didn't stay up at 2 in the morning to look at it themselves.
And supposedly you should be able to see this anywhere in North and South America, is what I read. So, but I'm sure most people are sleeping through this.
And you can tell just the last few minutes that we've been talking here how quickly this goes.
Yeah.
It's already eclipsed quite a bit since we started recording. We've only been here for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And so here in just, I think, 5 or 10 minutes, we should get to witness a full-blown lunar eclipse. And what I'm excited to see is if it blacks out completely, or if we get a ring around the back, like you might expect, like it's kind of the stereotype of a cliche of a eclipse. It's 2 in the morning of a cliche. It's a stereotype of a cliche, a stereotype of an eclipse. Usually with a lunar eclipse, you see a big
solar eclipse.
I'm sorry, it's 2 in the morning. Usually with the solar eclipse, you see a big ring around the back.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I meant to make a joke at the beginning of this when we started filming. I meant to say previously on Heroes, but I totally forgot to make that joke. But that was with the solar eclipse.
Yeah. No, this is probably more Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yeah, you're right. Totally. Well done. Well done. You've established more geek cred. I'm impressed. I am. Forgive me. I'm going to move the camera slightly here as the moon is moving. Well, there we go. Oh, that looks really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's taken about an hour to get this far. From when it first started looking like a tiny bite was being taken out of it.
Yes. Yeah, we totally had a tick omnipotence thing going on there. I wonder if this was happening in the tick universe, I wonder what the CHA would look like during a lunar eclipse. I wonder if they would pop out the way a couple of these very large craters are popping out. Now, you said that folks are going to be able to see this again like 3 more times in the near future.
Yeah, from what I read, it sounds like we're going to get another one of these sometime in the fall, and then 2 more next year, 1 in the spring and 1 in the fall. So, if you missed this one, look out for the other ones.
How rare is this?
apparently this type of lunar eclipse is pretty rare. It doesn't happen very often, but I don't know
Just how often?
just how often, or if it's just this type of lunar eclipse, or
But for it to happen 4 times in a period of like a year, is that like really unusual?
yes, from what I understand, yes.
And you said that there's a little bit of crazy Armageddon talk over that, right?
Yeah, just search the internet. Yeah, definitely.
That's fun.
It's all over right now.
Now this bright dot that we can see on the camera underneath the moon, what planet is that?
I think that's supposed to be Mars.
And then you can't see it on the camera, but well above to the right, we can see another even more illuminated light. Do you know what that is?
I don't right off. My guess would be either Saturn or Jupiter.
We've got an incredibly clear sky right now. I don't want to take you away from the eclipse because, again, it is changing quite a bit. But looking around me here, we can see a lot of the constellations really lit up. This is a great sky. And earlier we had a crazy amount of clouds as this started, and we were afraid we weren't going to get a good shot of it. Or that it was going to be too blanked out for us. Although the clouds on the camera looked super cool too.
Yeah.
But now we've got this perfectly clear sky. This kind of thing makes me really want to study up on some astronomy. I never really learned the constellations like I wish I had.
Yeah, and see, I had a unit in elementary school that really made a big impression on me, and I learned all the constellations and all this crazy astronomy stuff. And of course it happened to be like 4th or 5th grade, and so everything I know about astronomy is from 4th or 5th grade, so a lot of it at this point is very far-reaching
We did
knowledge.
this on a whim. If I had known this was happening, I didn't find out about this until Sarah got home today, honestly. If I'd known this was that we were gonna do this, I might have thought to see if we could hook up with some sort of expert in astronomy to give us some insight on this kind of thing while we were shooting. But we thought it. So we don't have a lot of insight to share, but
Nope.
we thought you might enjoy watching it with us, as we like to share these sorts of unusual experiences with the Geekvolution base when we can. I'd like to know if anybody else also watched this
Yeah,
as it was happening.
especially
I
since
say
it's
in the past
visible to
tense
so many people.
as you're watching it now. Yeah. So it's getting a lot closer.
Yeah, it's almost
We've got
there.
just a sliver now. And the top portion is very dark now.
Yeah.
It's looking really Death Star at this point. Wow. Yeah, it's gotten even darker as I'm talking. It's hard now to really tell what it is in the camera. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Like it barely looks like the moon.
Yeah. Boy, in the sky it looks great.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, we're to a point now where what we're seeing in the camera with the magnification and just, what it looks like recorded versus what it actually looks like. It's very different, really.
Yeah. It's almost yellow around the edges with a dark spot up in the center top.
Earlier I was kind of skeptical as to whether we were even going to see it. Because it just looked like a normal full moon for about an hour.
Yeah.
Well, 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's really cold out here right now, by the way. Our weather has been nuts.
Oh.
It was super warm over the weekend.
It was 80 degrees on Saturday.
Yes.
And now
And
it's...
Sunday it was really nice. It was like 70, 75 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And anybody that watched my new acquisitions last week for comics saw me shooting outside because it was so nice, and I was encouraging people, if it was nice where they were, to go outside and enjoy the weather and to get some exercise. And then today,
this morning it was snowing.
It was snowing. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. I shot that on Saturday, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, it's been a couple days. Yeah. No, I shot that on Saturday. So yeah, 2 days. This morning, it was freaking snowing.
Yeah.
And now it's about 35 degrees.
Yeah.
It was raining like crazy all day yesterday.
Yeah. All day, storming.
And Jason got to use his umbrella for the first time.
His new Superman
really
umbrella.
awesome Superman umbrella that has a flying Superman on the handle. Oh, this is looking really cool, Sarah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get the ring all the way around it, but I don't think it's going to black out completely.
Yeah.
On the camera. I mean, like in the sky. I mean, when you're just looking at it with your naked eye, you can tell it's not going to completely black out. It's going to be yellow, but I think it's going to stay kind of reddish like that.
Yeah.
On here, yeah. It's weird what it looks like here versus in the sky, because here it looks kind of blood red. It actually looks more like what you described. Hearing people say it was gonna look when you were listening about it on the radio.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a blood moon eclipse, so it's supposed to be any color ranging from orange to red is what I read.
I gotta be honest with you, I can't believe there's nobody else on our street doing this.
I know, this is crazy. I expected some other people.
You'd think
to be out
somebody else would be interested in this. And again, like I'm not an astronomy guy, but this kind of stuff does fascinate me when it happens.
there. Yeah. Well, it doesn't happen all the time.
I mean, when I say I'm not an astronomy guy, I just mean I don't know a lot, but like I am interested, you know.
Yeah, a lot of times it happens somewhere on Earth, and you don't happen to live in the place where you could see it. And this time, hey, it's right in our front yard.
Everybody bear with me for a minute. I'm going to see if I can get this in a more convenient spot on the screen. That's a little low. Come on, tripod, work with me. Seriously. There we are.
Handy cam. No kidding.
Yeah, it's real handy.
Just aim it at the moon for the next hour.
Okay, there is barely a sliver now. I think one could argue that counts as an eclipse.
Yeah, and if not now, then in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or within the next 5 minutes.
I know this video is going to be a little bit long, but just in case anybody wants to just see the whole process from the beginning of it, pretty far to that sliver at, I'd say, maybe 8 or 9% when we started.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more than that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. So, Sarah, you never stay up this late. When was the last time you were up this late?
That's a good question.
This feels a little bit like New Year's, yeah?
Yeah, well,
like,
I never stay up this late on New Year's.
You're never up this. Well, I know, but I just mean staying up late in general.
Yeah, no, I think the last time I was up this late was when we were driving back to the hotel from Metropolis. The last time we went.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Oh,
when
that's right.
We stayed super late for that film festival, and then we had to. Was our hotel actually in Illinois, or did we stay on the Missouri side? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I think it was on the Missouri side.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I honestly can't remember.
But yeah, so we were driving.
So
it was like 2 in the morning.
And we had like an hour to the hotel.
Yeah. And all on back roads.
That's always a late night.
Yeah.
At Metropolis, but that's such a good time at the Superman celebration. By the way, I'm hoping very much to go this year. We missed last year. We skipped it. We had a bunch of other stuff in convention season last year. This year, they've got Dean Cain. And I really want to go and get to see Dean Cain. That's so cool. And it's always a big deal when they have an actual Superman at the Superman celebration. Last time we went, they had Brandon Routh. Or was it the time before? No, I think the last time we went, I think 2 years ago, it was John Glover. And then I think it was Brandon Routh the year before.
Yeah, they kind of blur together for me. I know who I've seen.
Positive. Yeah, but you
I can't remember the order.
Yeah, and then I think it was the year before that we had Sam Witwer and the girl who played Supergirl in season 7 on. Name escapes me right now.
Yeah.
Laura Vandervoort.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really hope we can go and do that. I've always liked Dean Cain.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to kind of see it, see the light pop up on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Waiting for it to de-eclipse.
Yeah, I'm really glad I'm getting to witness this because, we were talking about this before we were recording, but I mean, if you it's obvious. I'm sure everybody knows what this is and what's actually going on, but it's just really interesting to think about seeing the shadow of the planet you're on cast onto the moon.
Yeah, which is so far away, but I mean, it's kind of amazing that these things cross paths at all.
Yeah.
Considering the distances involved.
I mean, if this is in a deck of like a collectible card game, this is like ultra rare, right? Like this is like a holofoil card.
Yeah.
That they only put like one pack out of like 50 or something. I try to express everything in the most geeky of terms.
Yes.
So that people have a better sense of what we're talking about. Okay, so it's getting super dark up in the top now.
Yeah, there's really no more sliver. It's just kind of darker at the top and lighter at the bottom.
By the way, if you're wondering what that big line across the moon is, we are shooting. I just realized this. We are shooting somewhat through a tree.
Yeah. Well, the moon has moved since we first started.
Yeah, and so we end up like before. I was really careful to not shoot around trees, but if you can see where we're standing right now, we have a lot of trees just right around here. Like we have a giant tree in our front yard. We were really excited when we moved here to get nice trees.
Yes.
And then across the street, there's a lot of trees about the same height, and then one in the yard right next to us. So no way around it. But yeah, for a minute there, I was like, "What is that line?" Like, oh, it's a tree. Of course. So Sarah, your professional opinion: vampires or werewolves?
Oh, vampires.
Yeah.
I may have had a different opinion before I saw Buffy and Angel.
And you just don't like werewolves and Buffy and Angel?
Well, no, I mean...
You just mean you really like vampires now.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit biased.
That's exactly where I thought you just meant I don't like that Oz was a werewolf, and that really...
Well, that wasn't my favorite plot point, but
No, but they did kind of make werewolves cooler by having Oz be one. I mean, the way they did them, they look a little silly, but for that show, it totally works.
I liked the one that ate Puppet Angel.
Oh, yes.
Because that was funny.
Wait, was that not his girlfriend?
Yes.
Yeah, she was actually really cool.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay,
and then she woke up and
darkening up hard now.
All that fluff in her mouth.
Also, we've got some cloud cover now.
Yeah, well,
some slight cloud cover coming through. Well, I just wanted, I just in case you couldn't tell looking at the footage, that some of what's darkening it up right now is just clouds. Oh, that is really cool looking, Sarah. I'm telling you, someday I'm gonna make a horror film, and this footage is gonna come in handy.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what a full moon eclipse does to werewolves. Like a full moon makes the werewolves come out, but does anything special happen to them if there's an eclipse involved? Do they get like?
They just turn into Hulk.
Is
and
it
then
like
turn back into werewolves when the eclipse is done?
Is it like the 10th season of the original Ninja Turtles, where like they mutate even more? Or do they get all like super spiky?
No, I think it's just a cross between werewolf and human.
Oh, okay.
Where they're just super, look like they're pumped up on steroids, growly human with half a brain.
That's well. I guess if you wanted to film that, you wouldn't have to use as much in the way as prosthetics. Or maybe it just turns them into like Super Shredder.
Yeah, there you go.
Super Shredder. I'm waiting to see someone cosplay that. I've never seen a Super Shredder cosplayed, but I think it would be really funny if somebody did that.
Yeah.
Because to make it look authentic, you'd want to make it look as styrofoamy as possible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like that that I always think about now that I'm doing more cosplay stuff and working with a couple of people that are really talented at costuming, where I go, oh, I couldn't pull that off, I'm too tiny.
Yeah, I don't think you could do Super Shredder.
You look at I couldn't unless I had stilts. So you look at some of the pictures that I took in the Spawn suit at the convention we went to a few weeks ago, and some of those pictures look hilarious because you got this really tiny Spawn. Like especially there was one where it was this guy dressed up as Thor and he was like 6'3" or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this tiny 5'6" Spawn. Like if you shoot it by yourself, you'll look okay, but you shoot it next to anybody else and just like you're this like like super tiny Spawn. Well, you think we ought to bid everybody farewell?
I think we should.
Well, folks, thanks for watching the eclipse with us. We just thought it might be kind of fun for folks to get to see this in case they missed it. And we always enjoy spending time with you and chatting about whatever random stuff comes to mind. But yeah, Sarah, I'm really glad that you had this idea and decided we ought to do this.
Yeah, this was fun, if a little cold.
It is cold, but it's totally worth it.
Yes.
Well, anyway, thanks, folks, for watching. We sure appreciate it. And Sarah and I will be back soon with some more Trexperts. But in the meantime, we're going to go to bed. Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Sarah.